Good morning, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sarah. If you are new here, hello. You might be able to tell I got a little son. My cousin's daughter had softball tournaments last weekend, and so I was outside every day, and one day the sun was particularly spicy. Even though I applied and reapplied sunscreen so many times, I still got a little toasted. You should see my shoulder, the side that was like towards the sun. It's pretty bad. Anyway, today I'm gonna take you along just for another day. Kind of around the house. We do have some errands to run this morning. First of all, an update. I got the curtains on the windows. So in one of my recent videos, previous videos, I was having a hard time with this. The hooks and things are still up there, so I will have to get to that eventually. That's probably not going to happen today. So far today it is 9:47. So far today I have been outside and I mowed. Anthony and I take turns who's gonna mow the yard. I like to do it as like instead of my walk for the day, mowing the yard. So I got that done today. Obviously I've showered, my hair is wet. I need to get the boys snacks ready and fill up their water cups. We're about to leave to run to town and run some errands. We have to go to Menards and get a few things. And then we also have to go to Aldi and we have to go to Sam's Club. I've mentioned that I have had some health stuff going on, and one of those things is constantly having a stomach ache, and also like after I eat sometimes I've been getting like this rash around my neck and it gets really itchy. I can still breathe and everything, but I believe I have developed at least an insensitivity or a sensitivity, if not an allergy to gluten. So there have been a few times that I have eaten a meal and I know that it hasn't had gluten in it and I've been fine. So that's why I'm leaning towards it being gluten. Starting yesterday, today's Tuesday, starting yesterday, I cut gluten out of my diet. So while we get groceries today, I need to find some different things that I can have. So I'm gonna get their snacks together, water, all of that, get in the car, and we're gonna go ahead and get on with our day. Before we go to town, I always make sure that I have snacks for the boys. So this day I did these like cinnamon cakes and some applesauce. We do have an attached garage, so I'm really thankful for that. I just loaded everything into the car. And then I sometimes forget to do this, so I'm glad I remembered. I had to remove the stroller from the trunk of the car, and then we also had like a outdoor foldable lawn chair. We are back home now. My hair has dried and is all poofy and fluffy. We were in town a whole heck of a lot longer than I thought it was going to take us. It's 1 o'clock. So I thought we would have been back by like noon. Yeah, it was a stressful trip today, actually. Let me show you what we got. So first I'm gonna start with Aldi. I spent $55.51 there. I like to go to Aldi first to see what they have that's on my list, and then I always go to Walmart to, you know, grab the things that Aldi doesn't have because they don't have everything. We get a lot of our snacks and like junky food from Aldi because it is substantially cheaper. Let me show you what I got from there. Starting over here, birthday cake whipped cream. This is a limited edition. It is much sweeter than a regular whipped cream. This is probably the last time that I'm going to buy it. Very likely the last time that they're going to have it too, because they've had it for quite a while. More French toast sticks and more of the protein buttermilk vanilla waffles. The boys have really liked these ones. Some mini corn dogs. These are actually for Anthony. I'm not eating gluten, like I said, and Anthony, or the kids don't like hot dogs, which I'm fine with since they're such a choking hazard anyway. The only produce I got from Aldi were these jalapenos, because the jalapenos at Walmart have been so disastrous lately and I haven't been able to find good ones. And then some cheese, so some string cheese, some sliced provolone cheese, and some sliced pepper jack cheese. Going back over here, this is like our junk food. These Oreo dippers, so it's like the Oreo cookie as sticks, and then the middle frosting stuff is actually a dip. Peanut butter wafers. These are similar to a nutty bar. Is that what they're called? Baked oat bar, chocolate chip for the kids. Some of these functional protein bar. They are the cookies and cream. I got them for Anthony. They have 18 grams of protein. I don't know if he'll like them. We've never had those before. On an end cap, they had some gluten-free Chips Ahoy, so I snagged those for myself so I can still enjoy dessert stuff. More of these coffee cakes. The boys really like these. A can of cannellini beans. some carb control tortillas for the boys, and then I found these Egg Life egg white wrap tortillas to try for myself. And as I was pointing out the can of cannellini beans, I realized that I didn't tell you what we're eating this week. So today is Tuesday. Also, I have not bought groceries in about 10 days. So the last groceries we bought lasted us 10 days for like the perishable stuff, and then we still have like all of the Sam's Club and stuff still around. Like we didn't go through all almost $500 worth of groceries I got last time, but it has been 10 days since then. This week, Tuesday, which is today, barbecue chicken tostada with sweet corn. Tomorrow, a baked sweet potato, and I haven't decided. I'll probably just put chicken on that and then toppings. Anthony won't actually be home for dinner tomorrow or Thursday night, so I'll just find something to put on there. Thursday, I'm gonna make a Greek chicken bowl. Friday, taco bake. Saturday, wraps. Sunday, buffalo chicken bites, crispy potatoes, and broccoli. And then also this week, I'm going to make a gluten-free s'mores bar for our dessert. Pancake donuts, I didn't get around to making them last week. I had found those pancake puff things in the freezer that I had gotten at Trader Joe's, and so we just ate through the freezer stuff last week. And then those beans are for an avocado cilantro white bean dip that I'm making for myself. Sorry, I forgot to mention that before I did the Aldi haul. At Walmart, the total was $162.78, not pictured, not shown, because we ate them for lunch on our way home. Our two Lunchables, like the turkey cheese crackers with cookies, Lunchables for the boys. I had a P3 that had like chicken and cheese and something in it. And then I also got these apple juices for the boys so they would have something to drink because their waters were gone, and I was trying to bribe them a little bit to behave the rest of the way through the store. I'm not gonna lie. That's not here on the counter, but I also did get those things. This is everything. I feel like I spent way more money than what it was all worth. But starting over here, 2 loaves of Sara Lee bread. This one is all crunched up because Noah thought he should be helping. How very thoughtful of him. Laundry detergent, I just got the Tide Free and Clear this time. These gluten-free breakfast biscuits, they are a cinnamon brown sugar. I actually was looking for a gluten-free graham cracker for the s'mores bars, and I couldn't find any. And I plan on placing a Thrive Market order soon, but I don't know if it's going to be here by the time I make that. Probably not. So I went with these. I'm sure it's similar enough that it'll be fine. 1 thing of apple juice back here, some 1-to-1 gluten-free flour, 2 little jars of Jif peanut butter, some smoked sausage. This is the cheddar, Sunny Crunch lettuce. I think this is just green, yeah, green leaf lettuce, and then some baby spinach. Back here, I got 6 of the peach mango water packets. These are normally $2.42, and they were on sale for $2.16, which is the lowest they have been in so long. I used to buy these literally for $1.79. So I went ahead and got 6 of them and stocked up while it's on rollback. The next time I go to the store, if it's still on rollback, I'll probably grab some more before the price goes back up again. I also got some pepper turkey. It has a sticker on it. It was only $2.92 instead of $5.12, and I don't understand why, because the packaged date is today. I don't really know why they have a sale sticker on there. Usually it's because it's been sitting there for a while, but it was just sliced today. So just over a half pound of that. 2 russet potatoes. Let's go back here again. Sunbelt Bakery chocolate chip granola bars for the boys. Down here are the Go-Go Squeeze Active. This one, strawberry, pineapple, and orange. Crispy onions. Anthony likes these on like his wraps or his burgers. A package of blackberries for the boys, some strawberries, 2 sweet potatoes, some avocado toast crunch master crackers for me, some Hottie Bites pickles. What are these called? Cherry tomatoes, grape tomatoes? I don't know the difference, but some little baby tomatoes for the Greek chicken bowl, a regular tomato, 3 avocados that are not anywhere close to being ripe yet, 2 lemons. We'll finish with produce, a big thing of celery, and a cucumber. And then for dairy products, I got some caramel macchiato coffee creamer, the Chobani brand, 3 gallons of 1% milk, vanilla Oikos triple Vanilla Oikos Triple Zero yogurt. This is the no added sugar, more protein yogurt that we use for the boys' smoothies. And then I got this onion and chive spreadable cream cheese. It's like the little triangles of it. So that's everything that I got from Walmart today. Okay, the last few things I have to share with you from our grocery stuff is from Menards. So I got 3 bags of play sand. That's still in the trunk. I'm not bringing it inside to show you. And we don't actually have a sandbox. We're just going to use like one of those plastic pools. Other things I got from Menards are this outdoor fly trap. This is one that you like rip open the packet of stuff, fill it with water, and then this thing pops up and it like traps the flies but doesn't let them back out. It works for more than just flies. Like a lot of bugs will do this. But I got this one in a jar type thing so it can sit on our deck. And then I also got like same concept, but this one hangs. There's some pole out in our yard that was there when we moved in, and I'm gonna hang it on there. For the s'mores thing, I needed marshmallow fluff, and I happened to see it while we were walking around Menards, so I went ahead and just grabbed it there. And then I also perused their snack aisles. Found these like Cheetos munchies. I know it's upside down because I opened it upside down. Crackers with cheese in the middle. The boys had some of those like in the middle of our shopping. Frosted raspberry Pop-Tarts, pizza Pringles, and little wafers. Menards, I spent $28.21. 2 things I also got from Amazon today. The package was here when we got home. I got Ryder some new underwear, and then I also got this like personal water filter straw thing. I decided that I needed a second cup of coffee this day. I wanted to talk really quick. As I put all of my groceries away, I was kind of overwhelmed by how much there was. I just got to work. But while I'm putting this away, I wanted to talk a little bit more about that water filter I got from Amazon. In 2020, there was a storm. It's called a derecho. It's when there's straight line winds over a certain mile per hour. That happened to our home in 2020 in August, and we were without power for 9 days. It was between 80 and 90 degrees. Like the front part of our house was pretty destroyed. All of the windows were blown out and everything. The storm specifically that came through our town was rated the same as a Category 4 hurricane, but in the middle of Iowa, if you can imagine. It was really scary, and to be without water that long. I was pregnant with Ryder at the time. Like we couldn't even, like the gas stations, we couldn't get gas from the gas stations. We had no power. Thankfully, the water supply wasn't harmed or anything, so we still had cold water, no hot water, obvious power. We didn't have a hot water heater because even though it was gas, the starter was electric and all of the things. After that storm, we realized that we weren't super prepared for natural disaster type things, so we needed to kind of bulk up on some stuff. And we didn't really get serious about it until earlier this year. There's been so many tornadoes in Iowa this year, and we have 2 small kids. And the first time we had a tornado warning for the year, which was early in the year, I just kind of felt like, hey, maybe we need to do a little bit better. We decided to start like an emergency weather box, and in it, if you're interested or curious, we have solar powered chargers, some flashlights, batteries, some wipes, candles. Really quick side note, I'm just putting some ice in my coffee, and I have these little like circle ice cube tray things. I don't love them, if I'm being honest, but they make ice. And then I'm going to go on to washing all of the produce, getting it cut up and all of that. Now we have one of those water things. Obviously, I would love to get one for each family member, but they're actually pretty expensive, and we only buy them every now and again. So this day specifically, I needed to buy the underwear for Ryder, and I could get same day delivery if I spent over $25. So I decided to add on that water filter to get me to that threshold. So that's a little more about that. I don't know if that matters or if you care, but I figured I'd explain that to you while I'm doing all the stuff in my kitchen instead of you just having to listen to some music.
Yesterday, there was sun and there was rain, beauty in the mundane. And as the light startled our eyes, we let go of disguise. And now
Produce, I think, is mostly dried. I'm gonna dry it off just a little bit more and then like cut up that celery and get that put away here in a minute. So just making sure the produce is actually dry. I did not do this the last time I put the produce in my fruit containers, and the water did drain to the bottom, but I just felt like everything went bad just as fast as a normal container. This time I dried it, and I can say that our fruit has lasted a little bit longer this time around. You also saw me put part of the celery stalks in a plastic bag. I actually threw those in the freezer, and the next time I make chicken broth, chicken stock, I don't really know the difference, I will use those scraps. I thaw all of that out and then throw it in there with that to give it extra flavor, extra nutrition, all of those things. And that's a way for it to not go to waste. I've said it before and I'll say it again. When I spend time to prep my food like this, I eat more of it. So cutting up those strawberries, I feel like my kids eat more of it because I don't have to cut it up for every meal. I can just pull them out. These tomatoes I used for a recipe later in the week, and just having them like this was super easy that night, and then also like just having to eat during the day. So I was happy with that prep that I did.
There's something in the air and a sparkly shimmer on our skin.
And then Anthony was home and I had him help me hang the TV. You can see my shirt's wet. That's because I just ran outside for something and it started raining on me. But we have this TV mount, stud finder, just making sure that everything went into the studs. We were lucky this time that we did find studs that worked for it. The last time we hung our TV, we had to use a lot of anchors. So it was nice to get that done. We've lived in this house for about 2 months now, and we've had that other TV just sitting on the stand, which has worked fine. But then this bigger TV has been just resting against the wall, and every day I say, today's going to be the day that my kids accidentally break it. So glad to get that up there. And then obviously with any project comes cleaning. So my vacuum does not work on carpet anymore. I've said that in a couple of videos now, I think, but the handle still works fine. So I did use that to clean up all of the dust and stuff. And then we got the TV hung, the HDMI plugged in. This is not a smart TV. I've had this TV for many, many, many years. So we have to use one of our Xboxes as like the smart function so that we can use Amazon and YouTube and stuff like that. And getting it cleaned because it's been on the floor, easy access for my kids to touch. And then the Xbox has also just been sitting. It's an older version. It's an Xbox One, but Anthony has a newer one. And so this one's just been kind of sitting in the basement, not touched. And then of course kids want to touch everything. And Anthony actually discovered he had a disc still in there. Moving on then to dinner. This night I made barbecue chicken tostadas. I will leave the recipe linked down in the description if you'd like to give them a try. We didn't actually have any tostadas, but we did have corn tortillas, so I went ahead and made my own, which is really simple. I'll show you that here in just a second, but just getting the chicken cut up into pieces and obviously cleaning up my countertop. And then I seasoned with garlic powder, onion powder, salt, pepper, and then I have this dried barbecue seasoning that I put on there and cooked it up just in some butter. I did add some Buffalo Wild Wings, like barbecue chipotle seasoning, to mine and Anthony's after I pulled the kids out. And then to make those tostadas, you just fry the tortillas in some oil. This is what ours looked like. I put avocado on the bottom of mine. And we had some sweet corn, and they were actually really good. And then this was the night before Anthony was going to be gone for the week for the rest of the week for training. And so I'm just packing up a lunchbox with a lot of snacks. At this point, we were under the impression he was going to be fed meals, but that ended up not being true. And then the fly traps I bought earlier in the day, you just fill them with water and set them out. And I think in the next video I show you guys, I got a clip of what they look like now that they're working. They have worked so well, and it's actually really disgusting. But it's working. So we put one on the deck and then one on the bird feeder holder. And as I was hanging out on the bird feeder, I realized that our bird seed was pretty much empty. So I went ahead and filled those up as much as I could. We actually ran out of bird seed. And then we have another one that hangs off of the deck. That's also not going to be able to be full all the way, but that's okay because the squirrels hang on that one actually and eat most of that one. So just got those hung back up. And then moving on to laundry. I say this all the time, but I'm really good at getting it washed and dried, and I am horrible at keeping up with the folding. Actually, between this video that you're watching right now and after this day, a few days following, I actually kept up with it. I was doing one load a day. I was putting it away. I was doing all of the things, and then I stopped. And if you're wondering, like, Sarah, what do you mean this day? Do you not talk the same day you film it? No, I do not. I actually film almost 2 weeks ahead of time. So this video was from like the middle of July kind of. And then when I get closer to the edit date, that's when I actually do the voiceover. There's been some time between when I film and when I do the voiceover. Okay, and then I had planned on making a desserts video similar to my what's for dinner video. The problem that I'm seeing with that is people don't enjoy those videos as much. They'd rather have one of these videos that kind of has everything thrown together, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. So I had filmed some clips for a dessert video and then realized, hey, these, like, people don't enjoy these very much. So what I'm going to do for the next few videos is just tack on a recipe at the end that is a dessert video. So this one is a chocolate chip Oreo brownie. So I'm starting off, they were so good. I'm starting off making the dough for the cookie dough. It's just a basic cookie dough recipe: sugar, brown sugar, butter, eggs, vanilla, salt, flour, all of the things. I'll leave the recipe for this link down below if you're interested as well. And I did use my mixer. If you don't have one, you can use a hand mixer. If you don't have one of those, just mix it up by hand. Use what you have. Not a big deal. I was gifted this KitchenAid 6 years ago from my husband for Christmas, I think, well before we had kids, when we had 2 incomes and life wasn't so expensive. And then you just take this cookie dough mixture and you put it in the bottom of a greased 9x13. I actually think maybe the recipe says to use parchment paper and I didn't. I was using my hand to pat it down and I realized that that was just not working out. So I took a spoon and sprayed it with some cooking spray and then just spread it all out. It wasn't even, and that didn't matter. Beyond gravel, beyond all. And then you just line up Oreos on there. Look how beautiful that is. That was probably the easiest part of this dessert. And then you put brownie mix on top. The recipe does have a homemade brownie option, or like a mix. It's not a box mix, you do actually make it, but it was so simple. I just used the same bowl that I used for the cookie dough and I did not wash it out because it's all going in the same dessert anyway. Mix that up and then you just pour that on top and spread it out evenly. Bake it. If I'm being honest, I don't remember what you bake it at or how long you bake it for, but they were so good. And this is what they look like when they're done. You can see those visible layers. We had so many, we ended up giving them away. This 9x13 pan was like intense. They're very sweet. But that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe before you go, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.